FC here from E-MTB Review, and today I'd like to welcome you to the great 2024 heavy duty bike rack shootout. So what we're going to talk about are these bike hitch racks. I have 14 of them, and I have the best of the best. Heavy duty, can carry cargo bikes, can carry e-bikes, downhill bikes, and it is a fascinating new genre because the demands have increased. You know, bike racks, you used to just have to carry a 30-pound bike, but now it could be 100 pounds, could be 120 pounds. You could have 3 or 4 of them. So we're going to talk about them, and what we're going to talk about is the construction, the quality of construction, the ease of features like tilting, putting a bike on, the most important thing, how easy it is to put a bike on and off, what kind of bikes can it handle, what is the weight limit of the bikes that it can handle, and what is the wheelbase, how big are the tires. So as you can see, a lot of complexity, right? And before we jump into the 14 racks, and I do have footage on all of them for mounting and speed bump testing, I'll talk to you about hitch racks. This is the biggest growing part of the bike rack segment, is the hitch rack. Luckily, most vehicles are now coming with hitch mounts, so a hitch receiver, so you can put a hitch rack. And what we recommend is a 2-inch hitch, what you see most often. And what I'm going to discuss, 90% of them are called tray racks. So tray rack means the tires of the bike sit on a tray, and even more, these are called wheel hold racks. So the only thing that touches the rack are the tires. So very safe for very expensive bikes and very flexible. No matter what kind of shape your frame is, it's going to handle it. So the two other options are roof racks. You know, when I started 30 years ago, it was all roof racks, and let me tell you, that genre is dying. It is dying because it is just hard to get to. It's not aerodynamic, it's noisy, causes fuel, causes noise, and every once in a while you run it through your garage and wreck everything, your garage included. The other type of rack that is gaining popularity for heavy duty use is called the upright rack. The upright rack has a huge mast right here, kind of like a sail, and then it has carriers for 4 to 6 bikes. So each bike is beside each other. And the advantage of this kind of rack is you can handle heavy bikes, and they don't extend far from the vehicle. You know, they're all the same, always the same distance from the vehicle. Okay, what we're going to do now is going to go through all the 14 racks rather quickly. A lot of the testing that I did, loading testing and stress testing with speed bumps and some on-road testing. And I'm going to go through it rather quickly, but we'll have a sheet of details for you guys of all the pertinent characteristics of these guys, so refer to it often. And then come back to me and I'll give you winners. I'm going to pick winners and losers now of my favorites of this rack shootout. Let's get right into it with the OneUp USA Equip D for $805 with a bike capacity 50 pounds per bike. This can go to 4 bikes if you need, wheelbase of 54 inches max for each one, and 3-inch tire size. So this has a single spine in the middle, so it's a clean design from OneUp USA. The arms don't open that wide, and it's not the most heavy duty but for most application it does pretty well. A little bit of flex on our stress test here with 2 50-pound e-bikes, but it is quite reliable, and it is a good option from the OneUp USA line for general use. The second one is the tried and true OneUp USA HD or heavy duty for $745. 65-pound limit for each bike, 54-inch wheelbase and 3-inch tires, so no fat tires, but an adapter is available. And this is the one you see most often on our trails because it is a workhorse. Been a proven design. 65 pounds gives you a lot of leeway for a little bit of off-roading as well. And it folds, it's sturdy, easy to use, good looking, and has great resale value. So really a stalwart of the OneUp USA line. All right, next one is the Bully, the Extreme Duty or the XD for $1450 for 2 bikes, and this can carry a 150-pound bike or e-motorcycle on the first tray and 120 on the second. It has a max wheelbase capacity of 58 inches and max tire with capacity of 5.25 inches. It has wheel chocks available for plus tires and fat tires. It has wide arms that are supported well, and it is the workhorse. It really is the extreme duty for a bike rack, and you can see it here, very stable on our speed bump test. So if you have some heavy demands, e-motorcycles, or some very heavy cargo fat e-bikes, this is a good choice for you. Now, it's not for everyone, very expensive, and it does not fold up. They made it a rigid solid structure so it could withstand all the beating with stability. Next rack for you guys to consider is the brainchild between the extreme duty and the heavy duty, and it's a super duty for $995, 100 pounds capacity for 2 bikes. You can add more, and has a max wheelbase of 58 inches and max tire of 5 inches. So this is really their answer to the heavy duty needs of today, and it has a very special trick. You can unlatch the arm so it's free moving, so you don't have to support it with 2 hands when leaning it over. So very easy to use, reliable, and as you can see, can handle a lot of heavy bikes. We loaded it with 3 e-bikes, and as you can see here, the flex is a little too much for our taste, so we would not recommend this because it has an aluminum main arm. That's just not made for the heaviest offloads. But you know, 4 bikes that are normal, 2 heavy e-bikes, this thing will take a licking. All right, next one is the Hollywood Destination E for $700, and you can get this from Amazon and other places. 70 pounds per bike for 2 bikes only. 50-inch wheelbase, so not the longest, and 4.5-inch wheel size. So this is an interesting one. It's not a wheel hold rack, it's a frame hold rack or seat post hold rack, and it is built to handle a variety of bikes, step-through bikes that are more unusual in size and shape. So here it is folded up. It looks a little bit busy. This rack features a curved platform, so it's easy to put a bike in. Really optimized. It does include a ramp. You don't have to buy it as an extra, usually $100. So quite a bonus there. And here it is. You just roll it in, and you try to find that seat post, strap that in, and strap in the tire. So a lot of straps just to ensure that the bike doesn't go anywhere. And it is a solution for people with odd shaped bikes and that really need a ramp for their daily needs. And here we are again with a ramp with the Kuat Piston SR. So Kuat is a very high-end company, and they made a simplified version of their piston series by just putting the rail on a very solid 2-inch structure. So 100 pounds per bike for 1 bike, 53-inch wheelbase and 5-inch tire. And as you can see here, all you need to do is push that arm to lock it in place. You can adjust the wheel rest with 1 hand. And over here we're using a ramp, but you don't need to. And it is a very handy, very specialized tool. Single ramp that does not fold up, but man, when it comes to stability, look at it, just ram that speed bump. It is a solid one for $657. So if this is what you need, not a bad option. Moving right along with the Kuat family are 2 racks, the Piston Pro and the Piston Pro X. Pro is $1098 and Pro X is $1398 with options that are included, lights and Kashima coated stanchions. So Piston Pro is what we're showing here, and it really has a nice tray with all those ridges to accommodate your tires and keep them from moving, and very nice construction on Kuat. Really surprises, good finishes, and everything is solid. Folds up nicely. The trick up its sleeve is each arm is actuated by a piston or a dropper post kind of gas charged strut. So you don't need to pull it. Just push it in to lock it in place, press a button to unlock it. So very handy. Usability is top notch. It's very rigid. It has a big tilt bar that's easy to actuate, and it's expandable too, 3 bike or 4 bike. So definitely an impressive offering from Kuat. Next track is an engineering marvel from the folks that brought you the Onramp USA design. It's a company called Quikr Stuff, and they have a design called the Mach 2 for $1,248. So quite expensive, and it's named by engineers, but they have a long waiting period because this thing is so in demand even with its high price. That's because everything is tool-free, aluminum constructed with a lot of locking mechanisms, and what it does really well is be really modular, from 0 trays to 4 trays with no tools. So if you have a need that's very flexible, changing a lot, you want to store it in a compact manner and then put the rails one at a time on your vehicle, this could be the rack for you. On the other hand, if you just want a 2-tray or 4-tray system that you leave on the car all the time, there's other more cost-effective options. But if you go for this, it's a solid rack, can handle 120 pounds per bike for 2 bikes, 58-inch wheelbase and 5-inch tires. And like I said, everything is full tool-free, including the adjustment for the wheel holds. So quite an amazing piece of art, aluminum art from the guys at Quikr Stuff. Moving right along is an offering from Rockymounts, a company in Colorado, and they have something called the Guiderail for $850, 60 pounds each for 2 bikes, 55-inch wheelbase is the max, and 3-inch tires. And this looks like a polished solution. It's their answer to the Onramp guys, and it's a very streamlined, handsome rack. And it has a nice feature, which is releasing the arms, the wheel hold arms. That way you don't have to hold it with 2 hands while you are trying to put on the bike. Well designed, nice tire guides for tire holds, and it's a clean looking rack with a tilting mechanism lever that's easy to reach. So really cool offering from Rockymounts called the Guiderail. And unlike the other players which just give you a pretend lock, Rockymounts gives you a real lock right here, kryptonite style, that integrates into the rack. All right, next rack is not the newest, the Saris MHS for $900, but it is proven in our circle here in Northern California. 100-pound capacity for 2 bikes, and it expands to more bike capacities depending on the base system that you have. 53-inch wheelbase and 5-inch tires is the capacity, and it is a wheel hold rack with easy to use wheel holds, one-handed operation, and they swing out of the way quite easily. A ramp is available, also a light is available, so quite flexible, very easy to tilt this guy, and very strong because steel construction, has a nice wheel chock and straps included as well. So pretty good offering from Saris, as you can see here, with 2 very heavy e-bikes. It is stable, and it can be depended on. On the downside, it's a little wide for its wheelbase capacity and compared to the competition. And the ratchet mechanism on the arm is very loud, and after a while, after many years, some folks in our circle have had some problems. Warranty though is very, very good. And we can't have a rack shootout without Thule, the big name from Sweden when it comes to racks. They have the Thule Pro XTR right here for $750, which actually seems like a bargain compared to competition. 60-pound capacity 50-inch wheelbase and 5-inch tires, and it has one of the best hitch mounting mechanisms. It has an integrated hitch pin and a tool-free cam right there. So easy to use, not the most attractive these days. They have other racks in their lineup, but we have not tried them, and some of them, the other ones are, you know, not rated for bikes as heavy. They also have upright racks that are good to choose from. Getting close to the end here as we go alphabetically is an offering from Yakima called the Stage 2 for $849 for 2 bikes, and you can go 4 bikes as you can see here. 70 pounds per bike, 52-inch wheelbase and 5-inch tires. This thing is made of heavy duty steel, very heavy, has a nice hitch locking mechanism, has an optional ramp. The ramp is a little bit flexy, and it is a tilted rack, and that way the bikes stay out of each other's way. And one thing we noticed with this rack is how strong it is. These are 4 e-bikes on very sharp speed bumps taken at a good speed, and wow, we did not think, you know, a 4-bike tray rack could handle this much. So we'll definitely put this one to the test. And the final addition to this shootout is the latest one from Yakima. This one is called the Onramp LX for $840. What's unusual about this rack is it is a frame hold or a seat post hold rack, not the usual wheel hold. And they purposely designed this because of the challenges of modern e-bikes. You know, we have commuter bikes, we have cargo bikes, and this thing is designed to carry as many of those as possible. The tray length is adjustable, so you could even carry some long wheelbase cargo bikes as an arm, but it does look pretty handsome, especially when folded up. It hides, you know, its kind of category. It looks like a wheel hold rack, and here I am wrestling with it as I put on a cargo bike. It has a ramp right there, very handy. 80 pounds, by the way, is the capacity, 54-inch wheelbase and 5-inch tires. And you know, this thing, not like your traditional frame hold racks, and you want to do, if you have an expensive bike, just hold it by the seat post, and you should have you'll be able to find something. Oh, I have a trek bike right there along with this cargo bike, and as you can see, it's very stable, torquing this rack on fairly good speed on very sharp speed bumps diagonally. So not a bad option from Yakima called the Onramp LX. First category winner is the best value rack in this high-end category, and believe it or not, it is the One Up USA HD rack. This is $745 for a 2-bike rack system, and it's a good one. It's stood the test of time. Not the latest, but it's a workhorse, and you see more of this rack on the trailheads here in Northern California than any other. It's that good. And you know, $745 is not cheap, but consider that in 5 years it's gonna be worth $500 or maybe even more. So it's a good one. And the workhorse rack pick is the Yakima Stage 2. This thing benefits from an overbuilt frame that's heavy duty steel, so it's built very well. And during my testing, my naive testing, I did 4 e-bikes on my speed bump test, took it on the freeway, and it took a licking, minimal flex, amazing. So really impressive. Racks that I've tested after that have not done so well. There's a lot of leverage with that distance, and this Yakima Stage 2 really shocked the heck out of me with its stiffness and durability. All right, third selection is what is the best engineered rack of this group. There are a lot of engineering that's going on here, and it is the Quikr Stuff Mach 2. This thing, you know, the designers of the original One Up USA rack, they really had a lot of ideas and they implemented it in the Quikr Stuff. I would say it's over-engineered in some ways. Like, everything is tool-free. In fact, you could take out a whole tray without any tools. But that means now you got to engineer a locking system because someone can just steal that. So, but it is very well designed, engineered, and constructed. So engineering award goes to the Quikr Stuff. All right, the last pick is probably the most important one. What is the overall pick? What is my favorite? What is my recommendation to you or to any of my friends if they want a high-end, heavy-duty bike rack? And it is the Kuat Piston Pro right here. And I gotta admit, I wasn't an instant believer because initially it was Piston Pro X only for $1,400, and I thought that was a little too much. So $1,100 is a lot, but for what this rack can do, it is pretty darn good. And the main thing it can do, aside from looking handsome and being very, very sturdy, 65-pound capacity each bike, is this trick. This party trick right there means everything, because now you have usability, meaning all you need to do is push it and you're in. And then when you're releasing your bike, push it, kick it, tap it, whatever, and you're in. So really, this is the game changer. I'm not sure if it's patented, if anyone else can do it, and it's so sturdy. I'm a believer. The other thing they did is, hey, wheel size is important because you have all kinds of bikes, and not only is it tool free, but it's one-handed slide, and easy peasy. So my pick for overall is this Kuat Piston right here. So hope you enjoyed that little roundup that I did. It required a lot of work, a lot of years of testing racks. And if you want to purchase any of this, I'll have a lot of options in the description. Just click on the links. These things are best purchased online anyway, if you want kind of the selection. If you have a really good shop, local shop, pick it from there. Maybe they can help you install it. But online, these guys are all geared now. Some are consumer direct, some are companies like Jensen USA, Competitive Cyclist, partners of ours that will ship it to you safely, and they're not that hard to assemble. All right, thanks a ton, everybody.